The crossover is off and running like a gazelle through the Sahara. If that's where gazelles are, right?
Yes.
Make sure I get my animal geography right as we start this.
Off and running like a gazelle being chased by a cheetah.
That's right. And I guess in this scenario, you would be the cheetah because you have defeated me one-on-one in a race out in the iHeart parking lot.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I am not known for speed, but I am known for politeness, Mike, and that is why I will allow you to go first. Kick us off. What you got?
Well, you are Mr. Magic. Magic playoff series begins on Saturday. I want you to break it down for me and pick, are the Magic going to win? Are the Cavs going to win? And if so, why?
Okay, I try and stay as objective as humanly possible in every situation that I can. This is one where I am not objective. So I just want to let you all know that there is no objectivity here, but I think I can provide you with analysis that is at least close to accurate, even if I have my Magic goggles on.
Okay.
This is a great matchup for the Magic. Over the course of the season, they have not struggled as much against teams that play a similar style to them on the basketball court. They've struggled with teams that play the more futuristic style of NBA basketball. Teams like, you watch Sacramento and Golden State going at it in the play-in. Teams like that they're racing up and down the floor, super fast pace, shooting threes like crazy, great guard play. They really struggle with those teams, those potent offensive teams. The Cavs are not that. The Cavs want to slow things down. The Cavs want to play in the mud, and the Magic are like, great. We love the mud. We live in the mud. We only know how to play in the mud. So they yeah, exactly. They're tough mudders, and I think they match up really well with Cleveland. We've seen that in the season series. They split 2-2, and they won a game against Cleveland with Donovan Mitchell and without. So this isn't just a fluke sort of injury situation. It really comes down to, are the bright lights too big for the Magic? We've never seen them in the postseason. This Cavs team dealt with that last year. They got smacked by the Knicks. And I thought last year's Cavs team was a better version than we're getting this year. So I'm curious if the Cavs are as much a mess in this series as they've been throughout the season, or if they use last year's playoff series as sort of a learning opportunity for them, and they turn things around. I have the Magic winning this series. Originally, yesterday, I said in 7. I think it'd be really tough for them to win that 7th game in Cleveland. So I'm going to peel it back a game. Magic take game 6 in Orlando, and they win the series and move on to the next round.
Oh, that would be awesome if that happens. I hope it happens, Kravitz.
Sets up for a Magic Celtics round 2 series. Give me all of that. But I really do think, as I believe that this is a coin flip series. Most people are going to take Cleveland, but I really think this is as tough a series to predict as any that are out there in the first round.
Well, obviously Cleveland thinks they're going to win. They purposely tanked that final game just so they can play the Magic.
And that, I mean, you are flirting with disaster when you go up about your business that way. And I asked Jamal Mosley on my show, are you using that as bulletin board material? He wouldn't take the bait because he's a smarter man than that. Yeah. But come on, whether he wants to use it or not, those players are on social media. They see this stuff, and they're gonna use that as.
And I guarantee Coach Mose is using it too.
Yeah. I mean, I think they might actually put it up on the whiteboard. So let's stay with basketball. We're going to go to the female side. Women's basketball growing at a rapid rate. I paid attention to the WNBA draft for the first time in my entire life, and the numbers back that up because a lot of other people apparently did the same thing. The graph of ratings year by year, comparing this year to any other year in the past, it was a stark difference. So my question to you, as I spin it local, is I hear that the WNBA commissioner is looking into other cities. They want to expand past 12 teams, and she named a bunch of different cities around the country. Orlando was not one of them. Should we take our very lame effort to get a baseball team and use that energy towards a WNBA franchise where we already have an arena where they can play.
Well, we had a WNBA franchise years ago.
This is a different day, Mike.
The Orlando Miracle, and they were so unsuccessful, and so, people didn't go to the games, so they moved to Connecticut. And now they're the Connecticut Sun, and they're one of the most, popular teams in the NBA or the WNBA as far as attendance goes. I don't know what it is about Orlando. I mean, we're not being mentioned for a WNBA team. We didn't even get a sniff of baseball when Pat Williams was trying to get that baseball stadium built. Hell, we can't even we didn't even get included in the XFL USFL merger, for crying out loud. The Orlando Guardians, they went belly up as well. I don't think we get enough respect as a sports town. I think you're right. This is a different sports town than it was when the Orlando Miracle were here years ago, and they had the terrible coach, Carolyn Peck, who became a great commentator, but she was a terrible WNBA coach. So I agree with you. I would love to get a WNBA franchise in this city, and I would love to go see Caitlin Clark play a few times a year. Absolutely.
Same. Yes. Same. We got voted the number one sports city in the country, yet nobody wants to bring their professional franchise here. So something's not
that will be
up.
the number one sports business city in America.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Speaking of the NBA, we all know that Jonte Porter got banned for life earlier this week by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver for not only betting on NBA games, but betting against his own team, the Toronto Raptors. There are a lot of people blaming the NBA, saying, hey, you're in bed with all these sports betting companies. It's actually your fault that this has happened. Do you in any way blame the NBA for the Jonte Porter betting scandal because of their cozy financial relationship with betting companies?
No. I mean, these are adults. They have to be able to tell the difference between what the NBA is marketing towards their fans and what they are allowing their players and personnel to do. So let me give you the layout.
Okay.
Because I have personal experience with the exact same paperwork that Jonte Porter would have to sign. Now, I don't have to sign that. I'm not an employee of the Orlando Magic. I work with the Magic. I do not work for the Magic. So there's a little bit of a gray area. But my co-host, Tyler Caron, is technically an Orlando Magic employee, which means he's employed by the NBA. And he had to sign the same paperwork, just like Jake Chapman, Dante Marchitelli, pick anybody that you know that works for an NBA team. They have to sign that same paperwork that says you will not bet on this league, period. And I know for a fact that Tyler Caron, who gets paid not nearly enough for the job that he does not bet on the NBA. Jonte Porter plays in the NBA, and he couldn't seem to figure that one out. This comes down to personal responsibility.
I agree.
The guy is a moron, and that's all there is to it. He's privy to information. He was given the same speech that the person that works in sales for the Magic is given. You've got to be smarter than that. Especially, I know he's not making a ton. He's not making LeBron money. He's not even making Evan Fournier money. But he's still making more than the average American. You got to be smarter than that. And honestly, for a guy that had inside info, he didn't bank enough money betting on this sport. His profit margin should have been much higher than what, like $20K?
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Yeah. So,
all right, let me wrap with this. Graham Mertz, clearly the safer, better option to start the year for the Florida Gators. You were at the spring game, so I'm curious to get your account on this because I wasn't there. I didn't watch it, but I did watch the highlights. And the highlights of DJ Lagway, I've never watched this guy play. Holy crap. He is oozing talent. He's got the flick of the wrist. He's got that long gait, but also kind of runs gazelle-like. Second gazelle reference in this segment. And I think Graham Mertz is going to have an impossible time holding this guy off for his own talent and from a very itchy fan base. Do you agree with that? And is my assessment right in the limited bits of highlights that I watched on YouTube.
Well, he's certainly got all the athletic tools. I mean, no doubt he's a much better runner than Graham Mertz is. Can he flick the wrist and throw the ball down the field? Yeah, he can, but Anthony Richardson could do that as well. You just never knew where the ball was going to go. So he had some accuracy issues. We all know Graham Mertz was the most accurate quarterback in the SEC last year, completed 73% of his passes, led the SEC. But the itchy fan base, you're correct on that. But it doesn't matter what the itchy fan base wants. It matters what the coach wants. And Billy Napier is strongly in the Graham Mertz camp. He's said it many times. I think Billy Napier coaches like a coach who's not on the hot seat. And I said this earlier. I think Graham Mertz is more important to the Gators' future than DJ Lagway for this reason, because the Gators are going to rise and fall based on what Graham Mertz does this year. If Graham Mertz has a great year this year and the Gators win, Billy Napier keeps his job. If Graham Mertz doesn't have a great year and the Gators lose, Billy Napier might get fired, and then who knows what happens with DJ Lagway. He'll probably enter the transfer portal or something. But I think Graham Mertz is going to be your starting quarterback until unless something really, really bad happens.
I'm told from a listener that checked in when I asked for a show critique that we end this segment awkwardly. Now they suggested wasn't any better than what we do, but I just figured I would naturally end this segment by telling you, great job, Mike. Always a good time, and go ahead and hit them with it.
Yeah, the crossover is now over.